Well, it's an honor to be here and to introduce, I guess, and convey the award to someone who is even more beautiful on the inside than she is on the outside. Giorgia Meloni is someone that I admire, that has done an incredible job as the Prime Minister of Italy. Italy is experiencing record economic growth, record low unemployment. It's great. And she's also someone who is authentic, honest, truthful, and that can't always be said about politicians. And now it's my pleasure to invite to the stage the President of the Council of Ministers, Her Excellency Giorgia Meloni.
Thank you for
That was a great introduction, if you ask me. You can tell that these two like each other, right? Elon Musk is definitely a fan of Giorgia Meloni. He has praised her many, many times. So let's hear exactly what Giorgia Meloni has to us to say in this video. He probably has a great speech as well to receive this award.
Thank you for having me. My deepest gratitude goes to Chairman John Rogers, President Frederick Kemp, the entire Atlantic Council for this distinguished recognition I am very proud of. And I thank Elon for the beautiful words that he had for me and for his precious genius for the era in which we live. I have put a lot of thought into how to present tonight's speech. Initially, I thought of emphasizing the pride I still feel as the first woman to serve as Prime Minister in a nation as extraordinary as Italy, or about the effort the Italian government is doing to reform its country, to make it once again a protagonist of the geopolitical chessboard.
Yeah, I think she's doing a great job. I think Italy is becoming more and more and more important in Europe. It's not only France and Germany that are leading Europe right now. Italy has also a very important role to play and very important place at the negotiating table, and this is all thanks to Giorgia Meloni.
Could have talked about the inseparable bond that unites Italy and the United States, regardless of the political beliefs of the respective governments, a bond witnessed here by the many friends of Italian origin, representatives of a community that for generations has contributed to making America stronger. Or I could have talked about foreign policy in a time dominated by chaos in which Italy stands firmly alongside those who defend their freedom and sovereignty, not only for it is right to do so, but also because it is in the interest of Italy and the West to prevent a future in which the law of the strongest prevails. As a politician, you basically have two options: being a leader or a follower, to point a curse or not, to act for the good of your people, or to act only driven by polls. Well, my ambition is to lead and not to follow. Yeah. Tonight, in any case, I want to offer you a different perspective. Let me start by mentioning an op-ed recently published in the European edition of Politico. This analysis was focused on Meloni's Western nationalism. The author, which is called Dr. Constantini, argues that my political belief is in what might be called Western nationalism, a thought which at its heart embodies the survival and renaissance of Western civilization, which according to Constantini is new to the European scene. I don't know if nationalism is the correct word, because it often recalls doctrines of aggression or authoritarianism. However, I know that we should not be ashamed to use and defend words and concepts like nation and patriotism, because they mean more than a physical place. They mean a state of mind to which one belongs in sharing culture, traditions, values. When we see our flag, if we feel proud, it means that we feel the pride to be part of a community.
Yeah, I think Italy can be proud of itself. Italy is home to the Vatican. It is home to Rome. And it has a great history. The Roman Empire, everybody knows. The Roman Empire, everybody knows. The great Italian food, the great Italian climate, the beaches, its tourism, and its very friendly people with great character. And I totally agree that in today's and age, we should be proud of where we come from, of our country, and we can all be proud of our own country and live together in peace and prosperity and defend the values that we all believe in, the values of freedom and liberty.
And that we are ready to do our part to make its fate better. Well, for me, the West is more than a physical place. By the word West, we do not simply define countries by specific geographical location, but as a civilization built over the centuries with the genius and sacrifices of many. The West is a system of values in which the person is central, men and women are equal and free, and therefore the systems are democratic, life is sacred, the state is secular, and based on the rule of law. I ask and wonder to myself and to you, are these values of which we should be ashamed of? And are these values, and do these values drive us away from the others, or they bring us closer to the others? As West, I think we have two risks to counter. The first is what one of the greatest contemporary European philosophers, Roger Scruton, called oikophobia, from the Greek words oikos, which means home, and phobia, which means fear. Kyriakos, this is my personal tribute to your award tonight, okay? Sorry for being so serious, but I want to share with you this thought I have. Oikophobia is the aversion to one's home, a mounting contempt, which leads us to want to violently erase the symbols of our civilizations in the US as in Europe. The second risk is the paradox that while on the one hand, the West looks down on itself, on the other hand, often claims to be superior to the others. The result is that the West is in danger of becoming a less credible interlocutor.
Yeah, we have to be very, very careful. We have to be very careful about what we do with our future. The West is in decline, unfortunately, and there are many Eastern powers that want to take their place. Iran, North Korea, China, Russia. They want to be the dominant power in this, on this earth. And we have to defend our own value of democracy and liberty and freedom of press, freedom of expression, freedom of enterprise. And we have to fight for it, and we have to be strong for that. We definitely have to be strong if we want to stay strong and live in peace and prosperity.
The so-called Global South is demanding more influence. Developing nations that are by now largely established there are autonomously collaborating among themselves. Autocracies are gaining ground on democracies, and we risk looking more and more like a closed and self-referential fortress. In Italy, to reverse this course, we decided to launch, for example, the Mattei Plan for Africa, a model of cooperation based on equal footing to build a new long-term partnership with African countries. For yes, crises are multiplying in the world, but every crisis hides also an opportunity, for it requires to question oneself and to act. Above all, we need to recover awareness of who we are. As Western peoples, we have a duty to keep this promise and seek the answer to the problems of the future by having faith in our values. A synthesis born out of the meeting of Greek philosophy, Kyriakos, Roman law, Christian humanism.
I agree.
In short, as my English professor, Michael Jackson, used to say, I'm starting with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. And no message could have been, and we know it, we know the song, guys.
Look in the mirror
We
first.
have to start with ourselves, to know who we really are, and to respect that, so that we can understand and respect others as well. There is a narrative that authoritarian regimes care so much. It is about the idea of the inevitable decline of the West. The idea that democracies are failing to deliver. An army of foreign and malign trolls and bots is engaged in manipulating reality and exploiting our contradictions. But
That's some very strong words from Giorgia Meloni right there.
to the authoritarian funds, let me say very clearly that we will stand for our values. We will do that.
Good to hear.
President Reagan once said, above all, we must realize that no arsenal or no weapon in the arsenal of the world is so formidable as the will and the moral courage of free men and women. It is a weapon our adversaries in today's world do not have. I couldn't agree more. Our freedom and our values and the pride we feel for them are the weapons our adversaries fear the most. So we can't give up the strength of our own identity, for that would be the best gift we can make to authoritarian regimes. So at the end of the day, patriotism is the best response to declinism. Defending our deep roots is the precondition for reaping ripe fruit. Learning from our past mistakes is the precondition for being better in the future. I will also use the words of Giuseppe Prezzolini, perhaps the greatest conservative intellectual in the 20th century in Italy. He who knows how to conserve is not afraid of the future because he has learned the lessons of the past. We know how to face the impossible challenges that this era confronts us only when we learn from the lessons of the past. We defend Ukraine, for we have known the chaos of a world in which the law of the strongest prevails. We fight human traffickers because we remember that centuries ago we fought to abolish slavery. We defend nature and humankind because we know that without the responsible work of humans, it is not possible to build a more sustainable future. As we develop artificial intelligence, Elon, we attempt to govern its risk because we fought to be free, and we do not intend to trade our freedom in exchange for greater comfort. We know how to read these phenomena because our civilization has given us the tools. The time we live in requires us to choose what we want to be and what path we want to take. We can continue to fool the idea of the decline of the West. We can surrender to the idea that our civilization has nothing more to say or no more routes to chart. Or we can remember who we are, learn also from our mistakes, add our own piece of the story in this extraordinary walk, and govern what happens around us to leave our children a better world.
That's good. Focusing on the children, focusing on our legacy, focusing on living a better world for our children. But I don't really totally agree with her that the answer to authoritarianism is patriotism. I'm not so sure about that one, but let's see what people are saying in the comment section. We know Italians build the Pantheon because Italians are still capable of such genius. Yes, Italians are great people. Finally, Italy has someone with bold who will stand up to others, stand up for freedom, stand up for liberty, stand up for the value we believe in. We have to be strong to be able to defend them in the face of authoritarianism and authoritarian regime. Giorgia is a beautiful person inside and out. Yeah, that's probably why Elon Musk likes Giorgia Meloni, because not only is she smart, but she is also powerful and beautiful and well-spoken and very influential. And of course, Giorgia Meloni loves Elon Musk because he is famous, he is good-looking, he is tall, he is rich. What's not to love about a guy like this? She has surprised many of us with her clear leadership and strength. I hope she will be able to positively engage with the Trump administration around Western civilization and alliances. We will see what happens with Trump and Meloni and Elon Musk now working together. And we will report it all on this channel. Let me know what you think in the comment section below this video. I appreciate you being here and watching and staying with me to the end. Thank you very much for your support. Click right there to watch the next video, and I will see you there in the next video. Bye bye for now.